Oh, it's time. It's time. I almost forgot to do this. It is Sunday night, hence the bad lighting in here because the sun has gone down. It's late. But I forgot to do this yesterday when I did Reckless Velvet's highlight. And I wanted to make sure that I got this done. So I had somebody to roll into for this week. Out of town next weekend, but we'll try to get something done before or after. Those of you who want to submit an artist, MadamZmusic.com. There is a Z's highlight link and you can find me there. Find my page on BandLab. Also gives all the details of the video at the top of the page, or you can DM me there. So please keep sending artists and letting me be able to kind of get into them and review them. So here we go. This week's artist, there's so many. All right, so here we are. Let us see. Oh my gosh, my nails. Oh, don't look. Needs to be done desperately. And it is, oh, Tom Benz. Tom Benz is awesome. All right, so this one will be so super fun, and we're gonna totally rock out this week. So see you in a bit. It's that time again. So we're back for Tom Benz. And I'm a little bit kind of unprepared, I feel like, today. Oh, also, first week of October. You guys know my love for Halloween here. So I've got my, like, weird, I don't know, fawn, almost goatish. No, I think it's more like fawn meets Frida Kahlo, and the lighting's not that great in here, but it's all black roses that kind of surround it. So anyway, I don't know how conducive this will be to headbanging. Headbanging. We don't have a metal artist this week, so hopefully there won't be too much of that. But if it goes flying and I go flying, it's just the chaos that is. So like I said, we're back to talk about Tom Benz today. So I'm really excited about this because Tom is an absolutely amazing artist, and this gave me the opportunity to jump in and do a little bit more of a deep dive on Tom. And I actually was super surprised to find out that Tom is coming to us out of Germany. And I guess if I just paid a little bit closer attention to some of his posts and also his page, hello, I would have realized that. So really exciting for me just because Tom's style, and I'll let him talk a little bit more about his style and himself actually through some of his posts and through an interview that I found. So I will again let him kind of speak a little bit more in his own words today as I'm going through this, so that it's not necessarily my interpretation, because he can tell us a little bit more about himself. So Tom Benz, which is at Tom Benz on BandLab, which again is kind of what I'm running this through for the most part, although utilizing my YouTube channel to do so. And Tom's profile photo, at least the current one he has on BandLab. But I also want to throw one from I Am You Are magazine, or they have a website, which I've mentioned in previous weeks. This photo, because I feel like this one really describes Tom in a better image, if you will. So you guys definitely go check out Tom's BandLab page, but I'm also going to mention, my cat is in there playing with a top. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let me return to what I was actually talking about here. So if you go to Tom's page on BandLab, you can find links out. Oh, she's gonna do this. Okay, come here. Come on. Yes, hello, sorry about that. So what she really wants is to go outside. I have a really high wall that goes around my yard and around my house, And so when I'm out there in the garden or doing things outside, my 2 indoor cats kind of go and peruse, and it's really, really nice outside right now because it's fall, so the weather is cooling off and we have all the leaves falling, and it's just like a fantasy land for them to chase bugs and leaves and all the things. And so she's barking isn't the correct word, she's meowing at me to let her outside, and that's not happening right now. So anyway, sorry about that. Again, a little detour here. So Tom Benz, you can find multiple links to some of his different social media platforms via his page on BandLab, and the link, you know, obviously you can link to him through this post as well. But I want to point out his link tree because I love when y'all have link trees, because it really is a really beneficial, efficient way to link out to all of the things that you have. And so this is Tom's link tree. So please utilize this to get to all the links that I'm going to talk a little bit about today. And let me actually pull up the link tree and move all my things, move all the things that I have here. A little bit is discombobulated. So again, I'm just trying to dive into this because the day is slipping away, the weekend is slipping away, and I've been on the road, and I'm actually traveling again this week. So I'm out tomorrow, and I just need to get to this so I can move on with another artist. But I also want to make sure that I'm being very thorough in what I wanted to talk about today with Tom and all of his various platforms and things that he has to offer. So I want to, again, IMUR, so IMUR.one, they are actually incredible, and I did an interview with them back last year as well. This interview specifically, actually around the same time, this one is from November 27th of 2021, so we're getting close to a year ago. Some of this information as far as music that he's working on may be a little outdated at this point, so definitely go check out what he does have most current through his various social media platforms and on BandLab and on YouTube, actually. So you can link to all of it through his, like I said, his link tree. But this, did I say IMUR? Gosh, my brain is, that's the interview he did, if that's what I said. I'll know when I go back and watch this video. I'm like, what are you talking about? So IMUR did an interview with him. Actually, Mr. Chester did an interview with him back in November, and this is really a great interview, and again, helped me learn a little bit more about Tom, what Tom has going on in the various projects and bands that he is involved in. So his title, the title of the interview he did is called Saddling Up with Tom Benz, and I feel like that's a perfect description of kind of the genres that encompass the music that Tom puts out there for us. And so he starts off by talking a little bit about The Catcher in the Rye, great book, by the way. The Catcher in the Rye. And he is a Frankfurt, Germany, again, based artist. He talks about how he is very punctual and appreciates punctuality from other people, right? Being on time or even ahead of time, not very patient, and his devil and angel on each shoulder a little bit. And then he talks about, just kind of the music that he's involved with. He is independent as Tom Benz, but then he also is part of Them Damn Old Hillbillies. Let me see what this one links out to, because I know that they have one on, let me go to his bands here. So Them Damn Old Hillbillies, they are on BandLab as just that. So Them Damn Old Hillbillies, you can find it and find many links to their band through Tom's page and the other members of the band. And those members are obviously Tom Benz himself, and then also Brian Emerton, who is at Tennessee songwriter. And I actually highlighted Brian earlier this summer. So go check out Brian and all his amazing everything that he has to offer. He is an incredible songwriter, singer, a guitarist. you name it. Again, go check out that highlight with Brian and you'll get a little bit more in-depth dive into what he also offers. Also at Nurse is part of this band, and then Tummy Boy, so at Tummy Boy, who is Tom Callahan, and those are the members that make up Them Damn Old Hillbillies. But he also is in a real life, so localized, I'm assuming, all within where he lives. It's a traditional Irish folk bluegrass band, and they're called the String Band Ramblers. And you can actually find a link to their page and more information on them at the very bottom of his link tree. It is my band. It says my band, the String Band Ramblers. So it'll link you out to a separate website and you can kind of dive more into their music. But Them Damn Old Hillbillies is one that is specifically through BandLab. So that's really cool. That's more of a virtual band that he's a part of. And then he has a bunch of other links out on here, such as Spotify. You can find Tom Benz. And I'm pretty sure that... yeah, so that's Tom Benz on Spotify. You can also find him on Instagram, and this link out is in his BandLab link and in his link tree. And it is Tom Benz with a Z, obviously, 55. So there's his tag name on Instagram. And then he also has a link out to Facebook, which is called Tom String Band. And I think this is part of the String Band Ramblers because that's the backslash in the URL, it's backslash the String Band Ramblers. So this is more information on Tom and his associated band. And then you also can find him on YouTube, both as Tom Benz. And he also is on there as Them Damned Old Hillbillies. So they have a separate page as well. Go subscribe to their account so that you can kind of keep up to date with what's going on there. And check out some of the music that I'm going to be playing today as we kind of dive a little bit more into that. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the bottom of his interview. There are a couple things I want to point out a little bit more about Tom. And actually some striking similarities. I felt like I could relate to you on a lot of the feelings you have about life and the approach of life, your approach in life, and also kind of just, being a parent. And you mentioned, Tom, being in IT as a consultant. That's very much similar to what I do as far as managing a large area and multiple locations, and doing that to kind of support the fun parts of life like music and your family and things like that. So anyway, I really enjoyed getting to know you a little bit more on a personal level, as I do with most of the musicians that I dive into. But super fortunate to have have done an interview with you, because I feel like they do such a great job putting that together, and just the way they word it and questions, and the writers that are part of that entire group of individuals. And so again, super honored to have been able to do a deep dive into you and your account and a little bit more about your personal life and what you're about. And I think that's just really beautiful. So I'm gonna start now getting into the actual music, and then we can talk a little bit more about the interview and Tom himself. I want to start off by playing a couple songs that Tom, usually I dive first into the pinned post on the artist's account, and this week I'm going to do it a little bit differently and do a few songs that he actually mentioned at the bottom of his interview. So Mr. Chester asked him basically if he's working on anything that he wants to mention, and he talks a little bit about the projects they were working on at that point. And then the music itself, what should we listen to, and maybe you can tell us about the tracks. And so this, I felt like, gave me almost a more of a personal, not quite interview, but I mean, obviously somebody interviewed you, but the ability to locate tracks that you specifically, the artist specifically, wanted to highlight and show. And so I think that's beautiful. It wraps right into the highlights, and I'm gonna do that. I'm also thinking about starting to do these as interviews. I need to find a way to best record something like that, but maybe working with the artist that I draw to do, you know, if you're willing, of course, if you know, you want to remain anonymous and you want to, you know, not participate in something like that, even if, you know, you don't necessarily have to even be on camera, I don't think. I would obviously do that, but just be able to have that like live interaction and ask questions that I may be curious of and have that conversation and let it lead somewhere. So I think that could be a really cool like evolution of what I'm doing right now, instead of just like me one-on-one highlighting, talking to the camera, being able to actually bring the artist in and make it a more robust sort of interview almost. So yeah, anyway, just side note, I think I'm going to start trying to do something like that, and hopefully some of you would be open to coordinating something, you know, doing interviews like that with me for this to be able to share with others in the community. So anyway, this first song that Tom mentions is called Cowpoke. So that's the one I'm going to start with. And it says, he says, inspired and based on Coulter Wall's exceptional word. The video is not ready, but the goal was to get the mood and feel of the song together. There's no special connection besides the fact that I really love Coulter's way to sing and perform. I like the simple message of that song. It fits to see how I see things sometimes, he says, in parentheses. So I am going to go ahead and play this one, Cowpoke. And let's do that.
I'm lonesome but happy, rich but I'm broke, and the good Lord knows the reason. I'm just a cowpoke, from Cheyenne to Douglas, the range assign no, 'cause I drift with the wind, no one cares where I go.
In the Midwest somewhere, right, watching the wind like blow all the wheatgrass.
So it's stop
with your harmonica and a rocking chair.
I'll go back to being
like, and Tom has such an amazing voice, and it surprised me.
Riding the ground and the big rodeo.
Far away, and everything's like moved around. All right, so that's Cowpoke, and he does have like a video up here as of November 21st, 2021. So I don't know if this is. Anyway, just go check it out. I'm watching his YouTube page right now. All right, so. And Tom, you know, he said that he started playing music when he was, I think, 14, and it was drumming, and then, you know, kind of got distracted with life, right? Girls and whatever else that life pulls you away for at some point, and then kind of coming full circle back to yourself and finding music again and everything. And very similar to myself, you know, where I kind of went far away from music for a long time, and just recently, in the last handful of years, really kind of came back to it. But he said he came back playing an ukulele and singing, and that's kind of how he got into singing, was doing, you know, the 2-3 bar various songs on the uke, and it just evolved from there. So again, my point, I was really surprised to read that, because I think that was just in like 2013, very recent, less than 10 years. But you sound extremely professional and very comparable in many instances to Johnny Cash and some of these older, you know, country musicians that I think a lot of us revere. And so your confidence comes across, and it's very controlled, and just your vocal quality is amazing. So I'm just, it's really cool that you've only been doing it for a short amount of time, because you are just incredible and you shine. And I just think it's something that you're obviously very gifted at. And so I hope you do continue doing that and continue writing. And I was super surprised too that there are over 50 tracks that you all have produced with Them Damn Old Hillbillies, the American Blues virtual band lab group. And that is absolutely astounding. So I would say even prolific in some sense, whether that's you or a combination of the folks that you are doing music with. And music, you know, being able to find that group of people, whether it's in person or virtual, and having that musical chemistry together is just a really, really cool and rare thing to be able to find. So that's amazing, and major kudos to all of you for making all of this incredible music that we're, you know, able to access and listen to on a day-to-day basis. So this is my applaud. You guys are absolutely amazing. All of you are amazing. But yeah, specifically, I know I've been a huge fan of Them Damn Old Hillbillies since you all started releasing music. Had no idea it was that much, but it's, again, super, super cool. So I hope you continue to do so. I'm gonna go back to a couple of the other songs. Coffee is essential. Coffee is essential. Okay. It's the only way I keep kind of running these days. I think it's like sheer willpower and caffeine. Coffee specifically. All right, so let me get back to where I was, because I've kind of been scrolling up and down looking at all his stuff. So he said he was raised in South Germany, a child of Lake Constance, and I didn't have a lot of familiarity with Lake Constance, but being a geographer, I had to go and do a little bit of searching, and it is beautiful. It reminds me a lot from the pictures I was looking at of Lake Tahoe in Northern California, Nevada area, if you're familiar with that. And anyway, so beautiful. What a beautiful place to have grown up around, and probably gave you a lot of inspiration on the musical side of things as well. So back to the bottom. So the next one that he highlighted to, again, this was a year ago, so I'll also play a few songs that are a little more recent, but these are the ones from about a year ago that he was telling people to check out. So I'm gonna keep going through this list really quick. So Down in the Willow Garden, that's this next one. Okay. You know, I'm just gonna play it straight up from there. That makes it easiest. So he says, back to the roots, you can say, best of both worlds, Irish roots and Appalachian mountain music vibes. And I lived in that area for so long. It's so beautiful. Well, Appalachians specifically. I always loved the music, eerie lyrics, and a wonderful melody. The release date was around Halloween, a good fit. That microphone is everything.
Down by the banks below, I drew my saber through her, which was a bloody night. I threw her in the river, which was an awful sight.
All right, so go check that one out as well. Again, Down in the Willow Garden. This next one is a Seven Nation Army cover, so this will be fun. This one, it says a bluegrass tribute vocal cover. The original is great, but I'm always looking for something special from my point of view, and this instrumental version is gorgeous. I can really sing the lyrics and I can absolutely agree to the baseline message: leave the circus and go back to the basics. A kind of simple life where you do what you can do in order to be okay with yourself and with a higher power you might feel related to. It's all about returning back to your core and trying to stay there somehow. I don't know many people who made it, but it's still worth a try. So, and this I think kind of wraps back into what he was saying earlier, as far as the catcher in the rye and more of a simple existence, and then also mentions of being an Epicurean. So I think that all kind of, you know, comes together there, obviously. But I'm going to go ahead and play this song so we can jam out. And you all go check it out and add it to a list. I'll try to find these on his page as well, so I can add them to the highlights of the week. I think we're on 4, maybe almost 5 now, 3, 4, 5, something. Just go to my playlists and you'll find them in order. I kind of add all the artists and
I'm gonna
stuff.
fight them all. A 7-nation army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. Back and forth through my mind, behind a cigarette. And the message coming from my
I haven't heard this song in so long. I love this song. So go check that one out for sure. I love that song. What a great cover, Tom. So those are the 3 that he specifically mentions checking out. And he, let me see, because I feel like there was something else I wanted to mention here, and now I'm not finding it. He does drop, you know, in this interview a few, you know, mentions other people on BandLab that he's done a lot of collaborations with. One of them being, of course, Michelle St. George's, Paris Two Cranes, who also I've mentioned in earlier episodes, Miami 73, and Ron Swanson, who also mentioned previously, and then of course again Brian and Nurse and some of those other ones that are in Them Damn Old Hillbillies with him. So go check out the interview, because again I feel like it shines a lot of light, if you haven't already read it, on Tom and his character and who he is as a person in general, which is always you know, fun to kind of get a little bit more deep into knowing some of the musicians that are part of this community. So I am going to go back to his activity, the pinned post. Now we will play that one. So this one is called Whispering Waltz, and it is, he says, this song is an affair of the heart. No wonder the lovely Mrs. W at Wink Mall is here on guitar, fiddle, and backing vocals, and then Tom with the harp, I'm assuming harmonica there, and the vocals. So I will go ahead and play this. This was actually from 4 days ago. I don't think I've heard this one. This was not the pinned post when I first started digging into his account. So again, it's always changing.
I arose in the morning when you spoke in your slumber, the truth you've been hiding of another you have chose. The tales of his beauty from your lips came unknowing, and the tears down my cheeks, how they flow. Now you don't have to whisper, I know. I went down to the water.
So he says he's most influenced by indie, folk, and bluegrass tunes, which, yep, there's the harmonica. So that totally makes sense, considering kind of his style and what he sounds like. He's done some great Johnny Cash covers. So go and check those out if, again, you haven't had a chance to dive more deeply into Tom. You are missing out. So go give him some love. Listen to all these different songs. Oh. And I'm going to have to check out Wink Mall because I'm a little newer to her page. All right, so go check that out. Again, Whispering Waltz, Sierra Farrell cover. And oh, it looks like has a video up for that too. So go check that one out on YouTube. And you can, like I said, subscribe to Tom on YouTube and you can kind of keep up with all his releases. I wish I had more time to put into video. I think that it's so cool when you all are able to do that and actually put out some like quality videos. And so yeah, anyway, awesome song. And check out all of the things. So this, okay, there's a couple of the Whispering Waltz, a couple versions, reiterations of the Whispering Waltz. This one is from 4 days ago. Also, this one is, this one is called 18 Miles to Memphis. This one has at F. Stevens in it, and also at Antiphon 842, and then of course Tom. This is again 18 Miles to Memphis.
We've been riding all
My
night
horn.
just to reach a destination in your town. We've been 500 miles, everyone's asleep, there's not a sound. Oh, 18 wheels are rolling, 18 wheels are rolling round and round. Oh, please, Mr. Driver, won't you pull over here, we're really hungry. Well, we have 14 steak and eggs, 14 orange shoes, and 14 cups of coffee. Let's get back on the bus. This is one place that I really want to see. Well, we're 18 miles from Memphis, 18 miles from Memphis, 18 miles from Memphis, 18 miles from Memphis. Got a rocket in my pocket and I have the fuse. Taking off in your direction, have you heard the news? We're just 18 miles from Memphis.
All right, 18 Miles to Memphis. Oh, this one is a cover, Further Up on Up the Road, by the Them Damned Old Hillbillies. So cool. I'm gonna play this one. Oh. Speaking of Johnny Cash, right? Oh.
Where the road is dark and the seed is sowed, where the gun is cocked and the bullets cold, where the mines are marked and the blood and the gold. I meet you further on up the road. Got on my dead man's suit and my smiling skull ring, my lucky graveyard boots, and a song to sing.
Should've worn my shirt.
I got a song to sing. It keeps me out of the cold, and I'll meet you further on up the road.
Okay, so go finish that song, because if not, I'll play it all the way through, because it's great. It's Tom plus JC. Like, what can we say? I do want to play, this one, which was also Johnny Cash, and I'm a huge fan of this one. And it has... it also has Rusty. Rusty, on it, and Iceman. So 3 incredible musicians in one right here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and play it because we all know this one.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel
Okay.
a focus on the pain. The only thing that's real.
I personally think just as good, if not better than.
Old familiar sting, try to kill it all away. I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend, everyone I know goes away in the end, and you could have it all. My empire of dirt, I will let you down. I will make you hurt.
You guys go check the rest of that one out. Okay, you know what? Actually, I just need to add that right now to. Oh man, why won't it let me save this over? I hate this. I hate this. BandLab, get it together, yo. Why can't I add this to a playlist? Why can't I add it, BandLab? I'm gonna have to go back to through my mobile app and add it that way. That's fine. I will add these. I'll add these to my highlights, and I'll also I need to add these to some other playlists too because that's an awesome song. So anyway. Tom is absolutely amazing. He is very well-rounded. He does kind of have his more preferred genres, I believe, but he does all kinds of stuff, and he's very, very, there's a lot of reciprocity coming from Tom. He gives back to the community a lot. He encourages other people, other artists, and is just a really, really stand-up guy from what I can tell, stand-up gent. And Tom, we're really glad you're part of this community. Thank you for, giving us your music and sharing your music and yourself. I feel like this isn't really easy, really, for anybody. And if people, unless they're just like egocentric, but like putting your heart out there and on your sleeve and then sharing it with like potentially millions of people across the planet, it's very vulnerable and it's very difficult to do that in many instances. So I applaud everybody who does do that. I know a lot of this is very therapeutic for many of us, and anyway, I just love this community, and this is why I continue to do what I do and do music and collaborations and these silly videos so that I can, just give back and hopefully brighten somebody's day along the way. So one more song, because I feel like this is as fun and it shows a little bit more of an eclectic side from Tom before I kind of like cut it for the week. This one is called Fields of Gold, but it's pop to metal. I think it's part of the contest in September. And this one has F. Stevens, at Joe's Corner. And you can find these artists also through the songs as I add them to my playlists. And then also, of course, I'm not even going to throw that back up there because Tom Benz. All right, so this one is called, again, Fields of Gold. I said no metal this go, but I think I lied. And I lose a horn.
sky as we walk in fields of gold. So she took her love for to gaze a while upon the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her head came down among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love?
Alright guys, that's it for me this week.
Of barley.
Let Tom take us out, and that's a wrap. In other words, go check out Tom, go check out all the other folks that were part of this week's highlights, mentions, notable mentions. Keep sending me those names.